In today's show, we have another of our popular Dynamite Conspiracies episodes, and we discuss, are governments purposely hiding alien contact for our benefit?
And now, the TNT Talk Show, daring to go where other podcasts fear to tread.
Hello, I'm Tony Fasula, and I share the stage with my esteemed friend and colleague, Daya Boya. Daya, hello, my friend, once again. I hope you keep it safe and well.
Yeah, what the hell, Tony? What you gonna do, eh? Hello, audience, and hello to
Yeah, I don't
someone.
have the prompt, man.
Oh,
This
for
is
goodness
so
sakes!
good. It's so
How
good.
long are you gonna keep this stuff up, man? Um,
For
I
the
want to say
200
hello.
episodes, you never said hello to the audience. There you go.
So I got 200 episodes of you going, yeah, yeah. Oh, for God's sakes! I want to say hello to someone, just to one person. I don't know
Oh,
what. Well, we're grateful for what we get. So I
okay.
want to say hello to someone in Singapore,
Okay.
and I was looking it up,
A new
and
listener.
uh,
Only the new ones you're picking up
maybe
on.
maybe it's a new listener.
Okay.
We get no. I come up with recent. So our stats shows me the most recently
The newest ones that
the
have started
newest
lowest. Yeah.
downloads. So it
Okay.
could be an old download, but someone
Right.
who's just yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
this is so what's the story of Singapore? Well, Singapore is where is it? Singapore is officially the Republic of Singapore,
Okay.
and it is an island country and city state in Southeast Asia. So it's got 63 satellite islands and islets.
63.
And I asked myself, what the hell is an islet? I mean, I knew the word, but what is it? What is it really? What is it really? Turns out an islet is a small island with little or no vegetation and not an ability to support human habitation.
Right.
So they've
So
got a
basically
couple
little
of them.
rocks, perhaps, with just very devoid of anything, really.
Just something sticking out of the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, 63 satellite
Wow.
islands. So I think I remember somewhere where the majority of the transportation is by boat or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
But that's the
amazing.
Philippines as well.
Yeah,
The
yeah, Philippines.
Philippines and Indonesia have those problems because
Mm.
they're made up of so many little islands. So yeah.
And then, of course, then the volcanic thing. So this gentleman, you can see well, Tony would talk about our email and all that. I said gentleman, might have been a gentlewoman. I have no idea. So if you could just write to us, say hello, we would like to meet our listeners.
Indeed, indeed. And as Tayo has alluded to, we've actually put the email address in his name tag. So those of you that are watching can actually see his name has been replaced by our email address. But clearly, there's a big chunk of you that consume our content on audio platforms only. So I'll read it out to you. It's TNT Talk Show with no spaces at mail.com. I'll repeat it once more. TNT Talk Show at mail.com. So, yes, please get in touch with us, whatever platform you happen to be on. Obviously, like, comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you're on. But if you don't want to do that and just want to get in touch, use the email address. It's far easier. We will respond far quicker as well. Wonderful. Right, let's move on with today's show. And today is another one of our popular Dynamite Conspiracies episodes. And we're asking the question, are governments purposely hiding alien contact for our benefit? Okay, Tayo, do you want to start or would you like me to start?
Well, I have a shock for you, Tony.
Go on.
I've been looking into this uh, due to the show coming up, so I started doing some research,
I'm glad you
and I
have.
believe, sorry,
Yeah, I'm glad you have.
yeah, and I believe for what's right, and I believe I've, I think I'm changed my mind
What?
because yes, yes. Now, for audience members who don't know, I've been very skeptical about aliens and alien technology and so on and so forth. But no, I sat down, I analyzed the data, and I had a long, hard look at it. And seriously, there is one really important piece of evidence that I think you and I and other people may have missed. This is to do with this idea of reverse engineering alien technology.
Okay.
And when you think about it, we have more or less proof that the Americans have reverse engineered alien technology.
How?
Because F-35s keep falling out of the sky, just like the bloody UFOs do.
Oh dear. They also fall off ships.
They fall off and they just, well, this, yeah, when you take off a crashed aircraft, sorry, spacecraft, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to keep crashing. And I thought, oh my God, they really did it. They really got their hands on alien tech.
I mean, I know, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but I know you've said in the past, how is it that these supposed alien intelligences are traveling wherever they're traveling from, could be millions of miles, we don't fully understand where, and then they come here and they crash? Seriously? I mean, how have they not got avoidance systems for all this? I mean,
7/8 of the, what is it? 7/8 of the world's surface is
is
water.
water.
I don't know if it's 7/8 actually. That might be an exaggeration. Anyway, a large percentage of the Earth's surface is water. They didn't crash into water. They crashed into America.
I mean, that's not the only place though. You're using
Well,
because
you mean they crash
Roswell,
more
for
often than
instance,
that?
yeah, they have. They've been
Others are
shot
crashing all over the
down.
place.
Well, it depends. I mean, at the end of the day, it depends how many are actually in the skies. They're seen a lot though. That's the thing. And just purely by numbers alone, you're going to get some that are crashed. And that's what's happening. Think
We'd
about
have
how
hoped
many,
better from an advanced civilization.
well, maybe they're not as advanced, much more advanced than we are. We still make
Anti-gravity, they
mistakes.
say they have. They have anti-gravity.
Yeah, but
So the
that's
one
just a
thing anti-gravity would
speculation.
do is keep you from crashing into the freaking ground because you crash into the ground because of gravity.
Yeah, but we don't know that for sure, do we? That's a speculation from us. We
Well, the
say,
X-Files said it. So
it appears to be some sort of anti-gravity technology that is being used, but we obviously don't know. We're speculating, and
it's a little bit more than speculation, and I'll tell you why. Because the maneuvers that the craft exhibit are such that it must have something to do with gravity, because otherwise, bod living beings wouldn't survive the G forces. So they must have mastered something about G forces
well,
because we can sustain about nine Gs, I think,
yeah, yeah,
for seconds,
and then you
mere seconds.
you're unconscious
These
afterwards.
guys are doing 20, 30 Gs or something. So forget it.
But that's a big assumption on our part. We're making a big assumption that they are actually, made of living tissue. Let's be perfectly honest here. If we were sending anything any distance, why would we send humans?
Well, we're not
You'd
making that assumption. We're
No,
making the
we are.
assumption
That the
that
aliens are human. They
they're
could be.
proctologists, man. They keep grabbing people and being very,
Yeah, but
very
that
interested in their
could
bottoms.
be. But that could be in the bottom.
Well, that's what everybody who match all these Americans who is they all come back with horror stories about being proctored, and it's like, what is this people's fascination with our bot? They're like dogs, I suppose, or sniff, sniff, sniff bottoms or something. I don't know.
I mean, think about this logically. Let's think about this logically. If they were traveling, they would
I
not. They would not
forgot
be.
my new section.
What new checks? Oh yes, your factoid. You stopped that last week.
I stopped it, and there's a new one now. Just question time with Tayo.
Question
Well,
time.
no,
Well,
actually,
we
it's not
started
fun.
the show now. We can't do that.
All
Come
right,
on.
well, next
You'll
week.
have to
Because,
next
sorry,
week.
guys, you're gonna have to hang in there until next week.
Oh, you missed the key element.
Yes, I
We
did.
had a massive section on Dr. Isaiah Henry Matatamba.
Which Tony obviously misses because he keeps referring back. Yeah, you obviously love that section, man.
For those who
You-
aren't sure what we're talking about, we had a spate of shows where Tyre did a piece on a renowned doctor called Dr. Isaiah Henry Matatamba, who, in my opinion, talked utter crap.
what? One of the most brilliant men in African is it literature, folklore, and literature? Yes.
Okay, well, please go back and listen to our past episodes, and you'll find sections of it and where Tayo was explaining some of the wonderful words of wisdom of Dr.
What?
Isaiah Henry. Anyway,
Okay,
let's
okay,
get back
Tony.
on.
Okay, hold just one little second,
Go on then.
because I know you miss him so much.
Oh, you're not going to do what I am.
Well, I am, because if you miss
You're
him so
making
much,
them up.
well, if I did,
Sorry,
I just
audience, we're digressing from our topic because Tayo wants to get this out. Come on then. Put me through
if I
the
was
pain.
making
Put
it
the audience through the pain again.
if I
Come
was
on.
making it up, I'd just read out some. Here we go. Oh, I'll give you a very short one.
Go on then.
Dr. Isaiah Henry said this: the lion. Can you remember this one? The lion cannot purr. The cat cannot roar. Wow, amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's
You,
stating the obvious.
well, you didn't say it, did you? Who else has said that?
Oh, come on.
You see, anyway, that's a little present for you. I know
Okay,
you miss him,
thank
and
you.
there you have, you have him. Oh, by the
Cringeworthy.
way, do
Anyway,
you remember it?
oh, of course I remember it.
There you go. There you go. So not only is it apt, it's also memorable. And you're making
Well,
fun of the poor
indeed.
man. He's
Right,
dead now,
let's
by the
get
way.
back on point here of what we
Mm,
were talking about.
hmm
Sorry, folks.
mm,
All right, diversion there, although it was very humorous. But what I was saying was regarding, I mean, you mentioned just briefly about the maneuvers that have been spotted by these alien craft,
hmm
and a biological creature couldn't actually sustain those G forces. So I'm saying that they're not likely to be humanoid at all. I reckon they are actually robotic, but advanced robotics that look human-like or look alien-like, but they're not. They're actually in a robot form. Hence why they haven't got a problem with having to travel vast distances at incredible speeds, if that is what they're doing, because they're not organic. They are actually robotic probes and robotic AI equivalent, but because the aliens are far more advanced than us, they can send these things out. And obviously, these things are quite autonomous. They can act and make decisions because their AI is quite advanced, and they are reporting back for their masters, who are the actual aliens in some far distant realm, planet. And that's what I think. That's why they are they're coming here, and these craft can maneuver the way they do.
Well, the closest star system, and I don't even think it's got a habitable planet, at least not habitable to our biology, is Alpha Proximi, isn't it? Or is it Proximi or Proximi? The Americans probably say Proximi. I don't know what we say in Britain. Alpha Proximi, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, I
I know
think.
Alpha Centauri is the nearest.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
why is it Proximi then? Proximi means it's near, Proximus.
Oh, I don't
But
know.
okay, I'll look it up. But anyway, whichever star it is, it's 4 light years from us.
Yes.
So when you say come here and then report back to the home planet, with what technology? Because if it's a one based on radio waves or light or some form of communication in that kind of what's it called electromagnetic band, then it's going to take 4 years for messages to go back and forth.
But
So
that's using our technology.
no, I mean electromagnetic band. So
Yeah.
microwaves, lights, infrared.
Radio
That
waves. Yeah.
radio is all that is electromagnetism. So All that travels at 180,000 miles per hour. It's fixed, isn't it?
180,000 miles per second,
Per second,
isn't it?
sorry,
Per
that's it per
second,
hour,
yeah.
per second. So it doesn't stand to reason. You would get on the ship, wave goodbye to your folks, and then go out as a scout and gather information. And then after maybe they've long lived, after maybe in our lifetimes, maybe 5, 6, 700 years, who knows? Then they go back to their home planet with all this information they've gathered.
You see, they we're using our technology, our limits of what we think
Hmm.
can travel, we can send messages. We don't know that they haven't found another way using quantum messaging, for instance.
What the hell is
We
quantum medicine?
quant
Oh,
well,
yeah,
yeah,
entanglement. Okay.
entanglement. So you can separate quantum particles just for the benefit of some people who don't know what this is. Quantum particles are entangled and you separate them and you move one and the other one moves in real time. Doesn't matter the distance apart. Now, if you think about communication, digital communication is ones and noughts. So if you can move one particle one way and it repeats on the other side, it actually mirrors the other way, but the sequence is still the same. You can actually send data instantaneously, and they've actually proved that in a lab. Now, obviously, the particles were moved from one end of a lab to the other, so you're not talking vast distances, but there was no time delay. Now, imagine that aliens have perfected this technology where they've used entangled particles to send messages and communicate. So, data transfer and voice transfer, or whatever they use to communicate, is instant.
Oh, that's
So,
frightening.
well, think about it.
No,
You
I
can't
just did,
hack it.
and I was clever enough to think about it in a very short period of time. Doesn't mean I'm right, but you may just have accidentally stumbled upon how they actually why they crash, and B, why we can't seem to get a hold of them. I mean, unless you accept that they've crashed and we've got the pieces, which I don't accept. If they know and have mastered this action at a distance instantaneously, why can't they be on their home planet and then spin up UFOs in our atmosphere?
Possibly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So and then obviously that kind of technology could be a bit, quantum mechanics isn't easy. Maybe even for aliens it isn't easy. So apart from being able to explain the grays or something, unless you want to go full Star Trek and say they transport here into those ships.
Well,
But yeah, so all that is over. So maybe you're onto something there. Once I've got your attention before I let you get back on the mic again, this is one of the things that I think is delightful about our show. You got two old fogies like us, and we say things, and it's only in the more recent shows that we started checking on what we're saying. So we've just spoken absolute nonsense. I called the star Proxima. I
okay.
said, yes.
Hmm.
There's
Alpha
no
Centauri.
star. There's no star Alpha Proxima. And what do you call it? Alpha Centauri. Yeah, there's no Alpha Centauri either.
Really?
No, sorry, there is an Alpha Centauri, so you are closer than me. However, Alpha Centauri is a triple star system,
Okay.
and the component is Alpha Centauri C, Alpha Centauri AB, and Proxima Centauri, which is the one that is closest to us.
Oh, so you were close. We were sort of close.
For two old fogies, yeah, we were in the ballpark. But I think all those people who are experts and know what the hell they're talking about, they can stop laughing now. We've
Okay.
corrected ourselves.
Okay. But I mean, that shows the distances involved if there are anything here. I mean, you're talking light
Yeah.
from the closest star takes 4 years to get to us. Light from the closest galaxy. So our galaxy is a
Mm,
100,000 light years across. So if you were to travel at the speed of light from one end, it'd take you 100,000 years traveling at the speed of light to get to across the other side. That's vast. But
mm.
our nearest galaxy to ours, because we're in the Milky Way, which is the Andromeda galaxy, is 3 million light years away.
Bit of a trek, isn't it?
That's the closest galaxy to the Milky
Hmm.
Way. 3 million light years, and it's one galaxy in trillions of them.
Mm.
It's mind-boggling. So the fact that we sort of ask, are there any intelligent life out there? I think it's more the fact that there probably is, but there's no way of them getting to
We'll
us.
never know.
We will never know
Well,
because
unless we
unless
master
there's quantum stuff, yeah,
your quantum stuff
which obviously has no limits in theory. We don't
and
know
develop the infinite
consequences.
probability drive.
Go on, then explain that one.
Oh, you've forgotten your
I have.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, infinite probability drive. I thought this was something of science. I didn't realize it was
The
a
infinite
spoof one.
probability drive, where if you turn on the switch, because the probability of arriving where you're going is infinitely improbable. The idea was to invert that and make it infinitely probable that you'll end up where you want to go.
Indeed. Okay, let's get to our root question here. We're asking the question, are governments purposely hiding alien contact for our benefit? So we've now taken another step here, and we're saying that not saying we have had, but there's a possibility that governments have made contact with alien tech. Why are they not telling us?
That's a very hard ask because first of all, there's no zero evidence that we have made evidence with alien tech. There
Well,
are other governments that are asking the American government to fess up, saying, "Have you got alien tech?" Uh,
well, they're not. They're not
Portugal,
doing
I
that though,
believe, is
are
one of
they? They're
yeah, one of
not.
them is Portugal. In particular, Portugal seems to have had a lot of well, they're no longer called UFOs, and I was one of the first people to start asking on this show, why have we changed it from UFOs to UAPs? And what's the matter with UFO, unidentified flying object? It's because since the mid noughties, since the mid 2000s, some of these, I don't know what to call them,
Craft.
unidentified objects,
Craft, yeah.
craft, well, we don't know if they're craft, unidentified objects have transitioned from air into the sea. So it's a multi-factor, multivariate, multi-environment phenomenon, and they've been observed entering the sea and exiting at a different point than they went in. So meaning that they traveled underwater. So it's now called unidentified. What is it? Anomalous,
Anomalous.
anomalous phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's why it's no longer UFO. So these UAPs, so I'm going to start saying UAPs because that makes a lot of sense, and I like that. I mean, it's logical. So a lot of these UAPs have been observed in Portugal, and Portugal has been asking the United States, and I'm talking like maybe from 70s or so. They've been asking the United States to fess up if they've got these
Well, the
access to.
Americans aren't going to do it, are they? Whoever has the technology, and I'm not saying it's the Americans who've only got it. I think there's a few key players in this that do have that technology, and they are just sharing it amongst themselves. And the majority of the populations aren't allowed really to sort of make a fuss because this is something that they have been they have decided upon to not reveal to the general public. And I can see some of the logic. I can see some of the logic because if they have, I mean, obviously it's a hypothetical question because we don't have the evidence, but if they have and they are keeping it secret, which is what a lot of people are alluding to, it could be because the general public are not ready to receive this information. There are many knock-on effects that could occur if the truth was revealed. Some in society will accept it, but a vast number will not. And that will cause chaos in the world and in the world markets, in religion, in the economies will collapse because the stock market will be affected. You'll have key industries be challenged. trust in government would be eroded overnight because there'd be questions of why have you not told us? What do these aliens look like? What are their intentions? What have you been speaking behind closed doors
What
about?
do they
Why are you
taste
not telling
like?
us? I beg your pardon?
What do they taste like?
Why was it hidden? Why has it been hidden? Is it been because we've chosen to hide it to keep the status quo of the planet still functioning? Or have the aliens asked us not to reveal it? So it's slightly different. It's a two-pronged solution. If it was the government's choice, then as soon as that information is revealed, there'll be government collapse across the world. Because why are you keeping this massive information from us? And they would be the distrust would be, too much. They'd just fall, and we would have anarchy across the planet. But if it was the alien entities have said, look, yes, we've made contact with you, but your populations are just not ready for this information. Do not reveal it. And so they're under instruction not to do so. That's almost forgiven in a way, with less animosity to our governments if that's what they've had to do because they've been told not to do it. You can sort of understand their point of view to a degree, although you'd have thought that they'd at least dribs and drabs let it out. But if you think about the environment we're in now, we're getting exactly that. We're getting dribs and drabs of information from key places to get us, in quotes, acclimatized to the fact that, oh, look, it's aliens. We can get on with our jobs and carry on with life. Because what all governments around the world do not want to happen is anarchy. They don't want everything to be upended. They want everything to run as it's running now, so that people are paying their taxes, people are working, people are living in harmony by and large. That's what they want. They don't want this, people in the streets, anarchy, because we're now no longer the intelligent leaders of our world. We're not. We've now had to deal with a species that is probably more intelligent than us. And how do we reconcile that? How do we get on with that? There's so many questions, and that's probably why, if they have made any contact, they're keeping it from us.
I don't believe any of that. First of all, the idea that the government has been successfully hiding UFO evidence flawlessly for about 80 years. This is the same lot. It doesn't matter where, whether it's England or Britain or America. These are people who can't even keep their own emails from being hacked, but they can keep a secret for 80 years. They can't. No, the government. And look,
But they
two
haven't
one
kept a
person knows
secret. That's the whole
something.
point.
Well, they have, because all we've got, well, you're going to mention, I suppose, a whistleblower soon enough. But frankly, if you want to know how to keep a secret, tell me who killed JFK. That's how you keep a secret. You keep a secret.
Yeah.
So if they
But
wanted
there's
to,
theories out there, and there's whistleblowers who've revealed certain stuff. But yeah,
I don't know
you
what they've
kept a secret.
revealed, certain stuff. I mean,
Well,
we've done 2 shows on it, and I don't know anything about any whistleblowers.
Well,
But
okay, maybe not whistleblowers, but you and I both know about the magic bullet and the way of the from that window. It's almost impossible to shoot from that window.
hard evidence, in other words.
Yeah.
But this UFO thing is there's no equivalent hard evidence. That's the
Well,
problem.
what do you class as hard evidence
Well,
in UFO
something more than
search?
a rumor. I mean,
Well,
we've
no, there
seen
is.
weird things,
Okay,
but
and
that's all we've
seeing
seen.
that, are we saying therefore that everybody who's seen something and captured stuff on film, it's all rubbish?
Well,
All of it?
basically,
Every single one?
I don't know why you use the word rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's just not alien tech in the sense that, for example, the Tic Tac
Yes.
is the most famous recent example of a UAP. And this is the so-called gimbal, I think it's called. which was captured by an American F F-16.
F-16, two of
Right.
them.
Two
Yeah.
of two, really?
Couldn't keep up with it. Couldn't keep up with it.
No, it wasn't the signal just from one of the two. It was two aircraft. It wasn't two aircraft that independently saw it.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
Two. There was two.
that shatters my what I was about to say. I'm just going to double check that you're right. In the
Yeah, it was two
meantime,
of them.
yeah, carry on.
Anyway, they couldn't keep up with it. It was doing maneuvers that they just didn't comprehend, but they caught it on camera. The telemetry picked it up. It was picked up on radar, so they're not actually mythical objects. They're physical formed objects. Otherwise, they wouldn't appear on radar. So it's not like they're only being seen by humans,
Sorry,
but not the telemetry doesn't pick it up. It's also being
sorry.
picked up.
It was the gimbal video was captured by a U.S. Navy FA blah blah blah. Wasn't it an F-16? Okay, not two F-16s. I've
Who
got
took
the.
the Tic Tac then?
I
The
don't know.
gimbal and the Tic Tac are two separate things.
Okay, so you're bringing that into this. You're bringing that to the stage at quite a late stage. I'm talking about the one that went into the water and came out
And
of
then
the.
that's the Tic Tac. The gimbal one was up in the sky and it looked like a spinning top. And that was
I
caught on
don't know if
the
I'm even
telemetry.
familiar with that one. That's
That
news
was
to me.
caught on the telemetry of the F-16. And then the Tic Tac was actually caught by the ship as well as the planes that were got sent out after it. So there
So
was
which one
two
am I
different
talking about? The
sources.
one that went into into the ocean.
That's the Tic Tac.
Okay. Well, you say it's a Tic Tac, but the link I've got calls it a gimbal. So how do
Interesting.
you reconcile that?
Don't know.
I think you're wrong, Tony. I think that's hard to reconcile that.
Hmm. Okay.
Here, by the way, here's your link for you, just in case you
Okay,
think I'm
yeah.
talking.
Send it and we'll share it in the
See,
blurb of the episode.
there we are. So yeah, so now that I seem to be right and you seem to be
Yes, that's the
wrong.
gimbal. That's the one that was caught on the F-16.
No, it says, read it again. It says was captured by U.S. Navy FA-18,
F-18. Okay,
F-18, and by one, not two.
that's the gimbal. Yeah, because it looks like, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Okay, so
The
I'm saying
gimbal is
I've
this
forgotten what I
one,
was
but
saying now,
the
Tony.
we'll
Tell me.
send it to our
Yeah,
listeners
but
so
what
they
was
can
I
see.
saying though? You see, then you came up and said it was two. Then I've sorted that out. No, it was one, about the one I was talking about. But I've completely
The one
forgotten the
that was
point I was trying to
two
make.
was the Tic Tac. The Tic Tac was literally, it looked like a Tic Tac shape, and that was the one that was running close to the ocean, and then it dipped underneath the water for a while, and then it came back up again, as if, unaffected by the water. But that was caught on radar as well, and they locked into that one. So there was two separate incidents of two different items. The gimbal was the one you've just shown me, which we'll share,
I love,
but the
I
Tic
love,
Tac was a
I
different
love
one.
the TNT talk show. Okay, so anyway, the claim that the Tic Tac UFO was captured by two F-16s is incorrect.
Okay,
The Tic Tac
F-18s.
UFO encounter occurred in November 2004 and was documented. It's the same blooming thing, but was documented by U.S. Navy F-18 Hornets, not F-16s. And again, I'm going to send you a link to that. So
Okay.
it's nothing to, I don't know. You know what? I've been sending you links. You better send me one. This is your Tic Tac captured by two F-16s. Then, okay? Because, I've come up with receipts, baby. I need to see, I need, I need to see
I need
the,
to I need
the
to
color of your receipts, man.
sack my AI here. You've sent me the same
Okay,
thing. You've sent me the same thing twice. You've sent me the same link
all
twice.
right, no problem.
Okay, send me again. But yeah, I've got to sack my AI. It's letting me down on my research. Anyway, let's get back to the topic in hand. Whether or not governments, I mean, let's ask you the question. You're now the Prime Minister of the UK, for instance. Okay. So you're running the government and you have, it's been brought to your attention that we have captured an entity which is non-human and they're friendly, they're benevolent, but what do you do? What do you do?
They're friendly.
Benevolent, but they're
Uh-huh.
alien. They're intelligent, but they're not human. What would you do?
You should know the answer already. I believe in information. I believe that everyone owns information and no one has the right to hold it from anyone else. Because it affects everyone. You have to tell everyone because it affects them. It's part of their lives. You can withhold information that doesn't affect people, but if it affects people and you're a government official, it is your duty to tell people. It's not if you it is
Well, why?
treason.
Why then? Why no? Why then? How would it affect people? They're not actually going to do anything. They're just observing us.
Well, because we don't know, because we don't. I mean, they claim to be benevolent. So did the first Europeans who landed in West Africa. They claim to be benevolent,
So
but
why
they
would you
weren't.
scare people then? So if you know, so in other words, then okay, let's bring it to more worldly thing. You know of a plot for terrorists to perhaps try and bomb London, okay? But you don't know, well, you believe that it can be intercepted ahead of time, okay? So that it can be prevented. There's no danger to real people because you know you've got a somebody in the realm of the terrorist organization that can tell you when they're going to act so that you can stop them in their tracks. Would you then reveal that?
No,
Why? It can
so that
affect
I could,
people though.
so that I could, so that I, well, because I'm attempting to stop the thing that does affect people. So I'm attempting by keeping quiet. I am attempting to stop the attack. And if I am successful, the people were never in danger. But as we get closer and closer to the countdown, and we still haven't caught the people concerned, yeah, I start shooting my mouth off and saying, "Don't go to this place because there's danger." Because
Okay.
if I kept quiet and people went and the bomb went off and people were injured or died, I think that my
That's
head
worse
should be
because you
put.
knew about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd be in trouble. But
yeah.
we're talking about the alien now. Go back to the alien example. They are benevolent and they're willing to
They
share.
say they're benevolent. How
No,
do we
they're
know?
willing to share technology with you. They're only observing. They don't want to, cause any aggro. We're just like, we're almost like, they're just curious about us. They have no intent of anything we have because they can find it elsewhere. So they're not interested in our resources. They're just interested in our way of life from a study point of view. They want to leave us alone. So now you've got this information. You're aware they exist. They don't want to interfere, but they accidentally crashed. So you've got that information. Should you tell everybody?
Yeah, well, yes, it should. It should. It's just you and I have different ways of thinking about governance. For me, openness is everything. You got to tell people, and you got to trust people. And I've said this countless times on our shows. Where we fundamentally disagree, is that you fundamentally don't trust people, and I fundamentally trust people. I trust people to be adults in the room, and when push comes to shove, I believe that they generally are.
No, I don't have a problem with that. But you can see alarming behavior from certain individuals when they're not ready for this information. They
That's
may
because people
be,
let them off the hook. If
no,
you
but with
misbehave, then you just grab people, put their heads into a guillotine, and smite it off. Do that often enough, and people will behave. Just
that's
yeah, no, seriously, we let people off the hook. There's in a tile-led regime. you would hold yourself in because you know what would happen to you if you didn't. So you would.
Yeah,
And we could tell
okay.
you stuff in that regime because you're going to act like an adult. Why are you running crazy down? And why is it that panic always means breaking into a store and running off with TVs? What kind of
No, I
stupid
don't
panic is that?
understand that either.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous. No,
yeah.
but look on the element of faith, religions, for instance.
Well, if your religion is right, it will survive the encounter of the aliens because the aliens will say, "Oh, you know about Jesus too. Wow, we didn't realize that you would." So that's fine. See?
Yeah,
So
but
what you need is you need faith. Duh.
yeah, see, that's now lying, isn't it? But
What is
okay,
lying? What is lying?
because a lot of the religions are based on the fact that man is created in God's image. And I'm talking about all the Abrahamic religions believe that.
Well, no, these aliens will say, "Well, babe, the man means what exactly?" And then you'll sit down and we'll talk about it. You'll reinterpret the word man, and you'll be quite happy that it means anthropomorph. No, anthropomorph. Does that mean man? Okay, humanoid.
But then you ask
And
questions, and what about, for instance, Jesus and coming, he came here to protect, to eradicate man's sins.
and
And
what
now
was
we
amazing
say,
about that? What was amazing about is that there was a Jesus character all across the universe who died on the same day.
okay, where's the evidence for that?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if
Oh,
you have
okay.
faith that this is what the aliens might
Okay.
say, and then
All
you
right.
go, "Oh wow, that is even stronger evidence that Jesus came and came to save man." But a man in that case is the universal man, not just Earth man.
Okay.
Yeah. So why would that lead to panic? And if
You
your
don't think
religion
so?
is
Do you think
wrong,
the
and
stock
then they
markets
go,
would be spooked?
"Sorry."
Do you think the stock markets would be spooked?
The spot stock markets are always spooked. In fact, I don't even know anybody even talks about the stock markets. Today they're
Because it
down, tomorrow
undermines
they're up.
look, when you've got a pension, and most people in the West, if they got any sense, have got one. If the stock markets crash, then
Uh-oh.
that's your pension's affected. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, okay, that was meant to be a joke, but never mind. So, so yeah, okay. Again, you hang in there, it will rise again. And if you're worried about the stock market, money shouldn't be in the stock market because for what 7 years now, all sorts of people have been saying that the American stock market is on the edge of a cliff. And I don't know, one day,
They're going to be
one
right
day,
out at some point, but
at
yeah,
some
keep
point.
this.
But right
What
now,
about?
it's
Okay, look. Do you not think that that will have a knock-on effect on whole industries and all the rest of it?
well, yeah, because are they going to share their tech with us? If they're going to share our tech with us, all of a sudden, ChatGPT and all these things, they don't seem so hot. When,
No,
when
no, they
aliens
wouldn't.
say,
That's true.
what,
Exactly.
what do you do with these crappy, primitive? Look, here's real general
AI.
intelligence for you. Oh, that's going to
Yeah.
have a knock-on effect, and it
Oh,
doesn't, it
absolutely.
doesn't, it doesn't take up all this vast amounts of electricity that you're using, to run your
You
AI
see that
farms and
if
whatnot.
if they did share their technology with us, that would have enormous repercussions. Okay, we're saying that yes, we will reveal it. So the standing of the psyche in the human realm will have to take a huge shift because we're no longer the top of the tree, so to speak. We're not because we believe we are. But if we now discover that there's an alien being that's traveled distances to get to us, then they're obviously far more advanced than we are. So we have to accept we're no longer at the top of the tree and we are bound to be subservient in a way.
It's not even a problem. You're focusing on the wrong thing. What if they landed in the middle of Africa? What if they landed in Nigeria and said, "Look, we're going to share tech with you, but you have to get rid of these people in government, and then we will share our tech with you, and we will build you up because we can see how you've been abused and misused by foreigners and whatever, blah
Do
blah
you not
blah."
think that the whole world would descend on Nigeria if that happened?
I think the Americans might want to nuke Nigeria because
Yeah.
their
They
racism
don't
wouldn't want
want
them
them
to
to get
see.
an advantage.
Yeah, but if the aliens are that good, they'll say, well, that's not going to work. They're not going to be able to touch us. So that would be the real thing, and that's the real problem. If they land in America, they're showing their tech to America, America can use that. They say, look, we've got all this tech now. The rest of you had better just fall in line. This way, especially Donald Trump, he can't shut up for 2 minutes. So if Trump knew about it, the whole world would know about it. And then he'd be talking about he's made the greatest deal ever with these
Oh,
aliens.
let's not go there. Although saying that, he was off, he was incommunicado for 3 or 4 days and everyone was trending. Is he all right?
I don't know about that.
Normally,
I was trying to peace and quiet for a while.
yeah. Oh, dear. I mean, would there be, if the government did choose to reveal it, right? Because I think personally, they are not revealing it.
I don't think they got anything to reveal. Look,
I think they have.
one of the whistleblowers is David Grush. Grush.
Yeah.
Do I pronounce his blooming name? Grush?
Yeah, David Grush. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, David Grush. Now, who is David Grush? He is a highly trusted, highly cleared security agent. Who do you think is best placed to run a disinformation op? Who? Me, a numpty from Northampton, or a well-trained, highly trusted, highly cleared security officer? Who would be more likely to be able to run a really great disinformation operation? I think it's David Grush. And he's running around, he's shooting his mouth off like a gossipy teenager who's just had a first kiss, and nothing has happened to him. But there are people who have done a lot less and who are now pushing up the daisies. And yes, I'm looking at you, North Westphalia
North Westphalia.
in Germany.
What's that?
Well, Westphalia is the equivalent of a council area. I don't know what they call them over there. Region, I suppose you'd say, uh,
Right.
like a state. Okay.
So what's
So, and
happened there?
it's called North Westphalia.
Okay. And its
And you've
name is failure.
sorry,
Its name is failure.
it's West
Yeah.
space failure,
Okay.
and it is North
Yeah.
Westphalia. Maybe there's a South Westphalia. I don't know, but
Oh, I
there's a
see. Right, right, right.
okay.
Okay.
So North Westphalia, you know that 16 AfD politicians have recently popped their clogs, and the government is running around saying, "Oh, nothing to see here." You're aware of this?
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. In
Oh, wow.
Germany.
In Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
Hasn't made the news anywhere, even on some of the
Well,
channels I've gone
Tony,
to.
I keep telling you, don't, Western news isn't news. Western
Well,
news is what the
I'm
government
not
wants you
I'm not
to.
looking at Western news. Remember that. I've got other channels as well.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been in RT and other
Okay,
places.
yeah, but you've got to remember that RT have come up with stuff that hasn't been reported anywhere else. So let's be honest, you've got to have more than one reporting
Well,
source.
I have more than one, but I have citizen reporters and things. Hey, look, you know what? I just drag it up for you. I've got a lot of places. But the important thing
Digress.
is David Rush is
Yes.
still running around, but the people in Northwest Virginia aren't. So if the
Were
government
they
is really
revealing
upset,
anything along the subject lines, or were they? What
no,
were they? Why were they?
they just represent. Well, assuming there's hanky panky, and I guess there may be some reason to assume there's hanky panky going on in their deaths. Assuming that is because they're about to upset the apple cart. The AfD will upset the apple cart. If they win in North Westphalia and they start getting their hands on the throttles of power, they're going to upend everything. The EU, NATO, it's all going to be really, really, really up in the air.
Well, then,
Because
then they may have been stopped in their tracks. Yeah, you're
that's what
right.
I'm saying.
But
So
are they Nazi?
if David Grush was going to upset the apple cart, that's the expression I was looking for, then I strongly suggest that he wouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah, but is he upsetting the apple cart, or is he doing what we already touched on at the start of the show? That they're drip feeding information, getting us ready for a reveal. Because think about
Uh,
it. If you know, we've been seeing it in the media, we've been seeing videos, we've been, people are talking about it, that they're keeping this hidden. Maybe they are now drip feeding us information, and David Grush is one of these people.
Well, that would require you to make an extra assumption. So you're making one more assumption than me, which is anti Occam's razor. I'm just saying he's still alive. That's it. That's my evidence.
Yeah,
Then
but
you're saying, well, he's alive
he's not
because
rocking the
of,
apple cart.
well, you see, that is you making
No,
a
he's
statement
not
you
though.
can't defend. Well,
Why?
you can't defend it.
No,
How do
because
you,
you
so give
said
me
that
evidence now.
the
No,
people
stop,
in
stop a second.
Germany would be rocking the apple cart for sure, because if they've got, I don't know this, but if they've got extreme right-wing tendencies that could destabilize
Anyway,
government, then of course they're going to be upended and prevented. I don't know how they've been upended, and I don't know the means about it, but you can see that that could happen. It happens in other places around the world quite often. So welcome. This tactic is happening in Europe as well. But David Grush is revealing something which is not really a political thing. It's more to do with aliens. And maybe the aliens have said, look, don't reveal it. But now's come a time where, look, we need to know. So he's one of a number of people who've been asked or commissioned in order to release information to the public. So yeah, we're getting drip fed information because there's going to be a reveal at some point.
again, that is you coming up with a story, and I am not doing that. I'm saying David Grush is still alive.
Yes, I know he
So,
is. He
and if he
still
wasn't
breathes.
alive, if he was a problem for the establishment, he'll most likely be dead. Now you're taking that and then you're running with it and going further and saying, well, no, it's not because he's doing the job
No, I said I
of,
didn't know. I'm assuming. I
well,
never
it's
said
it's
that
it's
is the
it's
reason. Yeah.
it's,
It's an
it's too big an
assumption.
assumption, I think, because there's nothing else to support it. He's
But
made a lot of noise.
you've just said he's alive, but and there's a
Yeah,
few other people that are
that's all. He's
also
alive.
alive.
So
Yeah.
so where's the evidence? So I need more than him shooting his mouth off. Like if he had seen these things, couldn't he have sneaked out sneaked out a piece of the evidence,
No,
something?
in the military establishment and
Yeah.
places like that. No, you
Okay,
can't
walked
do
in with a
that.
microwave camera and taking like
No, you
James Bond
couldn't
would have
do
done,
that. It's just that is all,
Jason
you know,
Bourne.
nonsense. That's all nonsense. You know that. So
Yes.
it's only his testimony that they can provide. How many others have come forward and haven't been able to provide any actual physical data because that's held elsewhere. All
Yeah,
they've got is
exactly.
camera footage that's maybe something flying in the public domain, and then their testimony. That's it, because it's so secure.
There was something I wanted to touch on. I sent you a link, by the way.
Have you?
Yes, which is a bit of a surprise to me. First of all, what are your thoughts on? Ooh, sorry. What are your thoughts on the Daily Mail as a news source?
Um, they have been known to politicize their comments, and they exaggerate a few of the things.
Well, this one's very interesting. It starts off, and I thought to myself, "Oh no, Tony's right. Oh, that's horrible." It says newly released documents have revealed that Canadian police collected debris of a UFO that was shot down over Lake Huron last year. This report is from the 15th of November 2024. And it says witnesses described the object as octagonal with strings hanging off it before the jet fired two missiles striking the UFO that then slowly descended into Canadian waters. So,
Is that the
it,
link you've sent me? The one
yes,
that I've got there? Okay. Shot, oh, here we go. Canada, Police Canada wreckage, shot. Yeah. See, the Daily Mail is still, yeah. It's not the most reliable source, I'll be honest. So, but like anything, see, this is shot in Canada now, so this is not America that you ever
No,
grumble about. I
no,
mean, we've done shows about other things, other countries, Brazil, for instance, and Russia. So it's not just the US, but the USA have got a rather large landmass, let's be perfectly honest.
so one of the things was used to be that these UFOs or UAPs couldn't be shut down. Now we have them being shut down, and I believe that this particular one, which I saw, that it turned out to be a Chinese weather balloon or something. Well,
No,
that's what they
that's the
claim.
weather balloon. Yeah, we know about that incident. That did blame the Chinese for that because it's one of these ones that go really, really high. But the one I'm talking about, have you not seen the one about the Russians shooting one down?
The Russians.
The Russians, yeah, MiG fighters shooting a craft down. And they took several of them, lost a few fighter jets, but eventually they knocked it down and it was an alien craft. This is the Russians.
Is this one from the 80s or something? I got a very faint memory that you were
Yeah,
telling
we
me about
touched
one once.
about it. Yeah, it wasn't recent, but they actually got in a dogfight and it was several Russian MiG fighters with this craft and they eventually took it out, but they lost a few of the fighters in the process. So our weapons, the aliens are going, these humans, they might be primitive, but they've got some weapons that can cause problems, and that's what seems to be occurring. So the weapons that we have, although are not, you know, to the same levels as theirs, perhaps, but they can cause them problems. And so we have shot some craft out of the sky. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'll
This is
have to
what
find the
bothers me about
article.
all this is that ifs, whens, buts, howsoever's, speculations. If people are shot stuff down, well, we don't have the debris, blah blah blah. It's if someone was if you walked into a movie and this was the plot, you would leave without seeing waiting for the end. You just said this is not going anywhere. This is just coming and going and going. It's worse than the X Files. So what the hell is going on? So yeah, no. I mean, I'm no. I can't take all this. There is a reason for all this misinformation. If you remember when we were dealing with the crop circles,
Yeah,
we found out that was it MI5? The one, yeah, MI5, the one inside that works inside the country.
yeah, MI5. Yeah,
MI5 had placed operatives with these crop circle people in order to spread misinformation. And you're thinking, oh, why? They just can't help themselves, these MI5, these intelligence type people. Anywhere that, there's any kind of mystery or something, they want in on it. I suppose it's their character.
but
And they
why?
just basically, they're bored, I guess. I don't know. Because why are you messing with people's mentality like that? If people just investigate the blooming thing, find out that, okay, I think I just solved it in my head. Find out that there's nothing, it all dies down. But I suppose if you keep up the myth and maybe feed it a little bit, and by the way, they were paying money to someone to spread these lies. He later confessed. And what is it for? It's just to keep some kind of narrative that they can spin in a time of trouble. It's
So do you
ridiculous.
think do you think that the UFO thing is the same, but people are seeing stuff in the sky, so there's
I think
something
there's
there.
something up in the sky. Don't get me wrong. There is something up in the sky, but it's a whole natural phenomena. But we're just, at this point, we don't know what it is. One day, someone will go, oh, and everybody will go, oh, really? Is that all it was? And we'll be happy campers. But for now, it's mysterious.
You don't think, therefore, that governments are keeping it hidden for
Absolutely
their own
not.
benefit rather than
No,
ours?
no, because they couldn't even. Somebody will blab. And when I say somebody will blab, I mean a real blabber. A real blabbermouth, like the guy who's hiding in Russia, Snowden. He was a blabbermouth, but he brought receipts.
Yeah, but
Like
remember
like the
Bob
guy that was
Lazar?
that was in Ecuadorian embassy for so long,
Hmm.
Julian
Well, but
Assange. This is how
Yeah.
you blab. This is how you blab. You show up with receipts. You don't just come with it's absolutely nothing. But trust me, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know. How about Bob Lazar? We
Well, he
touched
didn't
on
bring
him a
any
few.
any receipts either, and he's all right. Is he still alive?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he didn't bring any receipts either, and a lot of people are very sort of questioning about was he really at that uni when he said he
You
was and
see,
things like that.
the thing is, right? Here's the other thing. Why? Why? If in Bob Lazar's case, why is it if the government have inspired him to do this,
I don't think they
why
have.
they haven't?
Hmm.
Why are they discrediting him then?
No, I don't think they have. I don't think he's. I don't think he's with them. I think he's just shooting his mouth off. If you don't
He
mind
didn't
my
get
saying
any
so, I can't.
financial gain from it.
Well, he's got that people's attention. You know his name. I know his name.
Yeah, but
We
what's
never
he
met the
gained
man.
from it? He actually hated
Hasn't
the
hasn't he
the
written
fact
books
that
or anything or magazine?
no,
No one has
no,
paid it
he
for you.
hasn't. No,
Is no. Do you mind if I check that? Because you've been wrong already today.
no, no.
Right. So yeah. No, I don't think so.
There've been films made about him, but he hasn't actually profited directly from it, unless he's got commissioned for appearing in it. But
No, that's what I'm saying. That
he
would have been
could have
money.
made a fortune, but didn't. Like some of the others, they go on speaking engagements and books and all that stuff. But he hasn't done any of that. He just wanted to reveal what he saw. And the
Bob Lazar
clincher
has
for
made money from his UFO story in multiple ways, despite his public claims of not profiting from it. He sold VHS tapes of his story, known as the Lazar tape, for 29.95 plus shipping in the 1990s.
that's a disinformation
Is
because
it
that's
really?
not true. Yeah, that's not true.
How do you know that?
Because
Mind you, that's from
he
Reddit.
looked
So,
at he looked at the camera and said, "Look, I'm not making any money out of this." Listen,
so
we've got
trust
to
me,
the
bro.
top of the hour here. We need to wrap up. So I need to get your final point of view. Are governments purposely hiding alien contact, but for our benefit, to keep us in the dark because they don't want anarchy, basically?
No, I don't believe that at all, whatsoever.
You don't. You think
Not
they
even.
don't even have any information, do you?
No, they don't.
Okay. All right, I think that they do, and I think that they are purposely. It's my own opinion. I think they are purposely hiding contact in some form, and we haven't succeeded reverse engineering because trying to, it's like giving a mobile phone to an ancient person in the in Middle England and said reverse engineer it, they wouldn't know what to do. And we're the same with the alien tech. We wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know how to reverse engineer it. It could have some exotic materials that we've never seen before. So they are keeping it guarded for that reason. So they are not telling us. It is for our benefit to keep the status quo and keep the world running. There we go.
Hey, I've just sent you a link, which I think you'll find well, I hope you'll find as humorous as myself and the our audience will. Do you
Okay.
remember when a few moments ago you said Bob Lazar doesn't make any money from any of this?
Yeah.
Do you recall that?
I did, yes, I said it.
I've just sent you his website where he's actually selling stuff. So how's that?
United Nuclear, and it's Bob Lazar.
Yes, it is.
That's not his site.
Yes, it is his site. Don't worry about it. It's his site. And now I'll let you enjoy digging into it. But if you want me to, next time I will bring even more receipts proving that that's his website. He's not even hiding it, by the way. So I don't know where you're getting that from. But yeah,
Okay, I will have a look at this website.
this
Interesting.
has been a great episode for me anyway. I've loved every flipping second of it. I've loved every second of it. Do you know what? Do you know what? Just before we go, I would like to say the drum that beats in the strong wind
Oh no!
speaks for every silent tree. Dr. Isaiah Henry Mazloatamba.
If you've loved this episode, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives into prophecies, mysteries, and the unexplained twists of fate. You've listened to Tony and Tayo, and we are the TNT Talk Show, but unfortunately, we have reached the end of the show for another week.
And Tyre was the winner.